Tyson Fury, 34-0, 1 draw, 24 knockouts, will take on Oleksandr Usyk, 21-0, 14 knockouts to determine our first undisputed heavyweight champion in nearly 25 years. And it's one of the biggest fights of the year. It's one of the biggest fights in heavyweight boxing in the modern era. And it's going to be a spectacle. And the sportsbooks have this at a near 50-50 fight, which you don't get very often with these high-profile fights anymore. Tyson Fury is even favored in one prominent sportsbook and an underdog in the other. So that's something that's worth mentioning here. Tyson Fury, 6'9" with a 7'1" reach. Think about that for a second. And moves really like a welterweight, despite being a heavyweight, despite being somebody who typically weighs in between 256 and 277 pounds. One of the biggest heavyweights and one of the biggest matchup problems in the sport. Then you have Oleksandr Usyk, who comes with the heavy amateur background of way over 300 fights, was a cruiserweight champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion before moving up to heavyweight. Tyson Fury jokingly calls him middleweight because he was an amateur middleweight at one point before progressing to light heavyweight, obviously, then the cruiserweight, and he's been a heavyweight over the last couple of years. Oleksandr Usyk, 5-0 with 2 knockouts as a heavyweight, 2 wins over Anthony Joshua, both by decision. That really established him as arguably the best in the division. Stylistically, this could be a beautiful, beautiful boxing matchup because Oleksandr Usyk is as good as anyone, technically speaking, in the heavyweight division. So is Tyson Fury. And Oleksandr Usyk is yet to be dropped as a professional, unless, of course, you count the Danny Dubois knockdown, which was not called a knockdown, that was called a low blow, technically speaking. Tyson Fury's been dropped 7 times in his career, including once to Francis Ngannou, 4 times in the Deontay Wilder fights, etc., etc. And the performance against Francis Ngannou was worrisome. I'm still backing him in this fight because I think the size is going to be too much for Oleksandr Usyk. I have Tyson Fury winning this fight by decision, plus 220 at one prominent sportsbook. And I also think there could be a knockdown in this fight, so I think that's worth a look as well. Over half a knockdown at minus 110, basically even money at a prominent sportsbook. Tyson Fury, I think, is going to be too big, too fast for the height, and also just too strong, and the ability when he's focused, when he's on, when he's actually taking a fight seriously, unlike the Francis Ngannou bout. I think he is the best heavyweight in the world, clearly, and it's going to show that again Saturday against Oleksandr Usyk, who I think is awesome. I think is great, but I think the size, the reach, the height, and all those different things, it's going to be a little bit too much for the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. That's all we have for today. Make sure that if you bet on the fight, track your pick on the Action Network app. And most importantly, enjoy the bout this weekend. Take care. Thank you for watching.